Okay, welcome. I finally received my LG tone-free earbuds, and so I thought I'd do an unboxing for everyone to see what they look like. They're brand new. This is the model tone-free FP9, and they come in black. The FP9, basically the difference between there's two main models that have come out. There's actually three that have come out, but the two main models are the FP9 and the FP8. The FP9, the case itself will plug into a headphone outlet, an auxiliary port, and it becomes a Bluetooth transmitter so that you can listen to music on any device that may not have a Bluetooth transmitter in it. You'll be able to listen to it with these headphones wirelessly. The FP8s don't have that, but their case is a case that can be charged wirelessly. You put it on a wireless charger and it will charge the case. This one doesn't charge that way. It has to be plugged in to charge the case, and I imagine it has to do with allowing it to also be plugged in to transmit Bluetooth signal to the Earpods too. So anyways, this is how it comes. In this case, it has some features on the side it mentions. It mentions on the top this Meridian. Apparently they have partnered with the Meridian to work on the sound quality. It says clear and spatial sound, so we'll see how that sounds once I have a chance to get into it, and I'll do another review on this later once I have a chance to listen to it. Flex action bass. Supposedly on this version they have increased or enhanced the bass to make it sound better or deeper. This has a 3 microphone system, and what that does is it helps in a couple of areas. It helps mainly to reduce the ambient sound around, so it helps with the active noise cancellation. And it says it's supposed to also help with call quality. Underneath it also talks about fast charging, so if you plug it in for 5 minutes, it's supposed to give you up to 60 minutes of listening time. And then it mentions playtime. The earbuds are supposed to last 10 hours, and then with the case, as you put it back in the case and recharge it, you can get up to 24 hours. However, one thing to make a special note of is the fact that that's if you don't use active noise cancellation. If you just use it without anything, plug it in, then you're supposed to be able to get up to 10 hours. If you're using active noise cancellation, then the specs say up to 6 hours, and with the recharging of the case, up to 15 hours. So we'll see how that goes. Again, look for a review coming out later to see how those numbers hold up. And lastly, it says IPX4 rating for sweat and water resistance, which is obviously important if you're using this in your workouts and you happen to be one of those that perspire like I am. Okay, I'm going to unbox this. I have already cut the plastic tabs, or the sticky they put over, the clear sticker that they put over it to prevent it from coming apart, so that I can take it apart. Let me also point out that there's a blue mood light for aesthetic purposes. I don't know if it's to indicate the mood of the earpods or the mood of the person that's going to be using the earpods, but anyways, let's open it up now and take a look and see what we've got. Okay, case, and that is the actual case for the earpods. Okay, it's USB-C charging, and obviously a light to show it's charged, and apparently this says UV nano. So this is the light that shows that the UV light is working inside. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then I also mentioned that this case turns into a Bluetooth transmitter. when you plug a USB-C here, and the other end actually is a 3.5 millimeter jack for a headphone jack, an audio jack, then you slide this slider forward and it turns this into a Bluetooth transmitter. Let's go ahead and open it. First of all, let me say it has kind of a rubbery feel on the outside. It feels really well done. I don't know how the rubber will hold up, this rubberish feel, if it wears off after a period of time, I would imagine, but it really feels well done. Has a nice little recess here so that you can get your finger underneath it to lift it up. And there you go. All right, UV Nano. I mentioned the light down here. UV Nano, what that is in this age of pandemics and paranoia, what they've done is they've used silicone ear gels that are a medical grade, and then this has a UV light inside, so when you put these ear pods back into the case, the UV light comes on for 5 minutes and it's supposed to kill all of the bacteria, and it's supposedly going to kill 99.9% of the bacteria, which is on the mesh inside. So let me just pull it out now, and we'll take one out and take a look at it. It's really light. I have to say it's really light. Obviously all plastic, that's what makes it light, but it has an outer shell that's been attached, and that it almost looks like a black chrome to me. That looks pretty classy. There's a hole right at the bottom, which would be one of the microphones. There's 3 mics, one there, and there's one on the other side somewhere, right at the top here, it looks like. And then here is the little button that you tap that controls the earpods and the use of them. There is an app that's available for both Apple and Android, apparently, and on this app it gives you the option to change the tap functions, what they do. I did notice in one of the reviews, there's very few out there now because this is brand new, but one of the reviews, one of the things that they talked negatively about with these earpods is the fact that there was no voice control. You couldn't access Siri. That is not the case. As you go into the app, you can reconfigure a tap on either the left or the right side that will call Siri up so that you can use Siri on your phone too if you're an Apple user. And in here you can see in the middle, that is the mesh that gets cleaned with the UV light. When you first put it in the first 5 minutes, that's what it's cleaning, any bacteria that might be in there. And these are the medical grade ear gels. Okay, if they fit in, and I would think they're light enough that they'd probably be comfortable wearing them all day. I'm pretty impressed with how light they are. Also to note, did you hear the click as I put that in? It's got a magnetic attaching there so that when you stick it in, it's going to make it more secure. It won't just flop around or fall out. They're marked right and left, it looks like, inside, so that you don't mess up putting them back into the case or making sure you get them into the right ears. When I take them out, I put them in one at a time so I wouldn't have a problem knowing which one goes into which ear. Okay, looks good. One other thing that is mentioned is that in the app there's a mode that you can use that's called whisper mode. So if you're in a large crowd and you're talking to someone on the phone, rather than talking loudly where the whole world can hear you, if you go into this whisper mode, you'll be able to pull the right ear pod out of your ear and put it up to your mouth and whisper in it, where the people surrounding won't be able to hear you, but the other person on the end of the line should be able to hear you clearly. That'll be something I'll test to make sure that that works, and if that's just a gimmick or if it's really something worthwhile. The case itself is about 2 1/8 inches in diameter and 1 1/8 inch tall. It's actually pretty small, and it looks like it would slip into the pocket very easily. So very impressive. Let's see what else is in the box. We pull this out, and these are the cables. This one is the USB-C to USB-A, and this is used to charge it. Okay. And this one is the USB-C to the headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So you can plug this, you know, where they really advertise if you're on the airplane, you can plug this into the headphone jack of the airplane, plug it into the case, let the case sit there, dangle, or put it on the tray. This then becomes the Bluetooth transmitter so that you can listen wirelessly to whatever they offer on the airplane. Once you plug it in like that, you'd slide this little slider forward, and that's what changes it from normal Bluetooth, where it's connected to your phone, to the Bluetooth transmitter. So it pairs it with that. Okay, and then in the bottom we've got obviously more ear gels. There's 3 different size ear gels. You're probably familiar with this, but the most important thing you can do is make sure that you get the appropriate size ear gels in, not just for comfort, but to make sure that you can plug up the ear opening and get the best sound. If it's too small, you won't be able to plug up the ear enough to get the best sound. You'll let too much ambient noise inside around it. If it's too big, it just may be uncomfortable fitting into your ears. So you want to make sure that you try different ear gels in order to make sure you get the appropriate one so that you get the very best sound out of your earpods. Okay, let's take this out. Looks like we've got an owner's manual. Warranty information. So there's an owner's manual in here for you, and then you have the ear gels. So that's pretty much it. That is the unboxing of the LG tone-free FP9 is the model earpods. So I will then go ahead and charge these up. Usually the first thing they say is to take them, charge it up to the full capacity so that it helps the battery to maximize the full life of the battery. So charge it all the way up fully before you start using it, and I'll do that now and then look for other reviews that I'll post in the next few days that talk about what my impression is of these new earpods from LG. Thank you for watching.